Hello, let's play a bunch of New York Times games, but first we reveal our dad joke of the day and our This Day in History. Alrighty. Tuesday, January 20th. Why do chicken coops only have 2 doors? Because if they had 4, they would be chicken sedans. Clearly. All right, and This Day in History. On January 20th, 1945, President Franklin D. Roosevelt is inaugurated for the 4th time. On January 20th, 1945, Franklin D. Roosevelt was sworn in as President of the United States, beginning an unprecedented 4th term that was cut short on April 12th of that year when he died in Warm Springs, Georgia. Roosevelt first became president in 1933 as the country limped along during the first years of the Great Depression. 4 years later, Roosevelt was inaugurated for the second time, and his third inauguration in 1941, he acknowledged that the country still faced many problems, saying, "We know that we still have far to go." By the time of his fourth and final swearing in, Roosevelt not only had led the nation through the Great Depression, but was also leading the country and the world through the tumultuous years of World War II. Roosevelt was buried at his estate along the Hudson River in Hyde Park, New York. All right. And I'd like to thank Haley Lemley for signing up as a new month at tier 1. And Haley has hit 12 months, so 1 year of being a member. Thank you, Haley. And also DAMF, DAMF 07. Thank you for your renewal. All right, well, let's start with connections. We're finding 4 groups of 4. We've got Craven, Tower, Brooklyn, Bumble, Carpenter, Lace, Needle, Twist, Honey, Wonton, Wind, Rialto, Desiree, Golden Gate, Weave, and Killer. Wanton, like wanton violence. Is this how you spell wonton soup? I feel like there's not because it's from a different language, there may not be a forced spelling for that, a standard spelling for that. Anyway, I mean, it's want and on, 2 words stuck together. I mean, if we're doing a purple it, Rialto. I keep thinking of Ronaldo, the soccer player. Twist, Craven. This is desire with an E added. I wonder if we're doing something like that for purple. I'm not really seeing other words like that. Okay. Golden Gate is a bridge. Golden Gate Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge. The Tower Bridge in London. There's got to be a 4th bridge, right? Or is this a red herring? Needle, twist, wind. Could this be wind or wind? I wonder. Okay, if there's another bridge, I'm not seeing it. So is that a red herring? What else would Golden Gate be? Killer. Maybe Rialto's a bridge. I don't know. Bumblebee, Carpenter Bee, Honey Bee, Killer Bee. Is there there's killer ants. Is there killer bee? There might be killer bee. Is there another bee I might know? All right, I am wearing purple today, so we are going to try to solve the whole puzzle before and predict the colors before we lock anything in. So I do that by circling it. If these are kinds of bees, I mean, at best it's, I don't know, maybe it's green. Sometimes trivia like that is blue, but probably not in this puzzle. We'll see. So I'm going to predict green for now. We can always change it. Let's see, Craven. Craven's such like an old word. It means scared. Someone who's typically scared. What's the other word for that? Anyway, none of them are nice words. Let's see. You hear it in westerns a lot, right? I mean, if we're not doing bridges, what's Golden Gate doing here? I mean, I could see Tower and Brooklyn being other things, but Golden Gate? It also just seems too obvious, though. There's the Space Needle. I don't know what Rialto is, and that's going to be a problem. I also don't know what Desiree is doing here. Lace? Lace and twist? And weave? And wind, perhaps? These are just like, ways of putting threads together. Those are synonyms, so they could be yellow. I'm wondering if bees are yellow, though. We'll see. I'll have to make a decision later. We'll have to see what the other categories are. I don't know if how that would help, but I mean, we still have our bridges. So maybe Rialto's a bridge. Wanton, Desiree. Want, desire, need, crave. Okay, yeah. So that's our purple. So I don't think I need to circle these. So these are starts with synonyms for wanting something. For lack of a fifth word for that. So this starts with crave, starts with need, starts with want, and starts with desire. All right. So that's purple. +2 to purple actually helped me find that desire early on, but I didn't see the others for some reason. I think I was looking for just removing the last letter, and none of them removed just the last letter other than that. All right, and then the bridges maybe is blue. I don't know. It's hard to tell. They could go a lot of ways with this. But here's our bridges. I'm hoping that's blue. That is blue. All right. So now we just have to figure out, are they going to make the B's yellow or are they going to make the synonyms yellow? I think synonyms should be yellow, so I'm gonna lock in the B's. But they could go the other way. They did not this time. Okay, so that's green. And so we get our perfect reverse rainbow. Very nice. Intertwine. There we go. Alrighty. Not too bad today, especially if you know that Rialto is a bridge. I'm going to look up where that is, and if I should have known that. Rialto Bridge. Oh, it's in... it's the oldest of 4 bridges spanning the Grand Canal in Venice, Italy. All right. Okie dokie. So it's in Venice. Venice has many bridges. All right. Not too bad. I'm going to give this a 2.3, and I think we have a 80% solve rate. I really don't know what you would mess up on. Like, what would you lock in as a mistake? But I guess we'll find out pretty quickly because we'll look at the stats. They give it a 2. Okay. So, yeah, 81%. Did I say 80? I feel like I wanted to say 80 if I didn't. Yeah, a lot of people make knowing like there's not like a bump at one mistake or anything. We'll see what the mistakes were though. Wow, reverse rainbow 1 in 64. You rarely see it that common. Yeah, a lot of 9% is fairly high for purple first. Yeah, I guess people who lost just got nothing. 4% got nothing. 3% got only blue. Which one was blue? The bridges. Yeah, you see Golden Gate, you're gonna think of bridges. We've actually got 5% getting blue and green, so that's the most common lose condition is getting these two, the B's and the bridges, and not seeing how to split these up. Okay, I suppose that makes some amount of sense. A lot of trying to figure out blue and purple, maybe not knowing what all the bridges are or something like that. Yeah, just interestingly that a lot of people did know Rialto, but yeah, so there's not like a commonality between which bridge wasn't known, or this is just people trying to figure out blue and purple and not knowing it at all. Putting needle in seems completely reasonable with sewing things, but these were all synonyms of like an action of intertwining, so I didn't consider needle there. First, people are getting the bridges, blue, green, yellow, purple. The first mistake is putting needle in with the intertwined terms. Putting needle in as like the space needle for like a just not knowing Rialto Bridge, but for a landmark. And then putting needle again, another way of putting needle in with yellow. All right, cool. Well, how'd you do? Hello, let's do pips for Tuesday, January 20th. We'll do the easy, medium, and hard. Let's play. All right, so what's our in? This has to be a double, so that's the double 6. So that's just thrown out. Now we're gonna have a domino here, 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 and there. So this domino is going to span a 3 and a 6. Maybe the question is, where does this 4, 6 go? I have a 2, 3, a 1, 1. Should this be obvious? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. 9 plus 7 plus 3 is 19. So here I've got 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 10 is 17, plus 6 is 16. Sorry, 17 plus 6. Whoops. 17 plus 6 is 23. So the difference between 19 and 23 is 4. So these two add to 4. Now, how am I adding to 4 and 2? I think 1, 3 is the only way. So it doesn't exactly tell us what's going on, but one of these is 3 going. Okay, so maybe we want to do something like 3 going into the 2. And then we can do the 1, 1 across here. And then we can do 6, 4, and then 5, 1. Okay. I don't know if that was overkill. Probably was, but it wasn't super clear how to place the next domino for me. All right, let's continue to the medium. Huh, okay. I think we want to figure out our placements first. So we definitely have a domino going across here and then across here. Now it's a bit open. So how many do I have that add to 10? So we have a 5, 5, and that's it. So we only have one domino that adds to 10. And then, ooh, this one doesn't have a good in either. I haven't seen one yet, at least. Let's see. Maybe I can figure it out. So is one of these always required to have the 5, 5 in it? Like, so let's see if we can try to avoid that. So no, it's not avoidable between these, because if I try to make this one not be the 5, 5, then this one has to be. So if I try to make this one not the 5, 5, then this one has to be. So the 5, 5 is using one of these two. I'm not sure which one. And then once this is 5, 5, we don't have another 10. Once this is 5, 5. So this one's never the 5, 5, I guess is the point. So, but which way do we go with it? I still don't think it's completely clear. So maybe I need to look at the digits here. So we have a greater than 3 with a greater than 1. That's pretty open. 2 that are equal in 2 different dominoes. So we have plenty of 2s. We have 2 3s. 2 5. Well, actually, if I can't use this 5 5 with them, then yeah, we do have 2 5s though. Okay, so how are we adding to 10 in the other ones? 5 5 or 4 6. So I have a singular 4. So maybe we just vibe this a little bit. This might be a vibe one. There might be multiple solutions. I don't know though. So 6 2 I'm going to put here just because less than 3 is often a 2. And so then now we use the 4 3 down here, and then this is our 5 5. And then now this goes here and this goes here. So we need probably a 5 5. So the 5 2 would go on the bottom so that we can do the 2 blank here. And then the 5 3 would go here. And then 6 1 does not work here. The 6 1's not allowed here. So what can I change? Well, we can just swap these. Easy enough. All right. Well, that's one way to solve it. I certainly didn't prove it's the only way. All right. Let's continue to the hard. All right. We're definitely going to want to draw some things out here. Let's draw this just because we can. So how many doubles do we have might be our first question. We have a double 6, double 3, double 1, double 0. So we have a lot. Double 2. How many doubles don't we have might be the question. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 6. So we don't have double 4 or 5, but we have all the other ones. All right. Are there any ins over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 6 equals, and we need a blank here. This is going to be blank, blank, or blank 5. Blank, blank doesn't work because it would have to go into another equal, and we wouldn't have another blank for it. Wait, why am I saying that? We would have another blank for it. I don't know what I was seeing, but it was wrong. All right. Blank 5 would be the other choice. So if I put a blank in here, I would need to use the blank 5 somewhere. It wouldn't go here. It wouldn't go up. It would have to go there. I mean, it's viable. I don't think that's our in. Let me see what we have 6 of. I wish I could just have a count of all of them. But we have 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. How about 2s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 2s. So 2 is a prime candidate. Is there anywhere that must use a 2? So we need to use one of the 2s up here. So if this was the 2s, all of our 2s would be used up in this equal and that 2, but that works. What about 3s? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not good enough. Let me just double check because 5 is very close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. How about 4s? 1. No. I don't think anything else there's enough of. What about 6s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it's going to be the 2s. And so we don't get to use 2s anywhere other than this 2 and this equal. So this is going to be the 5-2. I just don't know which way it goes. It's got a few options. Okay. And then this could be the 3-2. So I've got 2-1. I mean, 2-1 could go down here with a 1-1 here. I've got 2-6. I wonder where 2-6 belongs. It's hard. It's hard to like fill this out. What about this 5? 0, 4, 6. I mean, 5. Oh, less than 5. So 5-4 could go here. This could be okay. Less than 2 is 0-1 or 0-0. So this, if this is a domino on its own, it has to be 0-0. And then I mean, I'm really vibing this right now, and I don't know if that's going to work on this puzzle, but we'll try it. And then the 2-2 could go here. I'm down to 2-4 and 2-6. So I think I'd want the 2-4 to go here, and the 2-6 goes somewhere, maybe in the greater than 8. I do need to use a double over here. I have 6-6 and 3-3 left. And I need a domino that adds to less than 6. Maybe it's... Let's see. So this 5 is going to go here or up. And then I could do 5, 6, and 6, 6. Wait. Is this going to work? Unfortunately, 6-3 is not less than 6. So I got to do a swapperoo somewhere. Really unfortunate that it just like fails there. I don't need this lines. Oh, all I have to do is swap these. That's easy. There we go. Okay, I mean, that was super vibed. It makes me think there's more than one solution, but I don't know. All right, well, how'd you do? Hello, let's do the mini crossword for Tuesday, January 20th. Let's play. Style of cuisine with bulgogi beef for short. Bulgogi is that Thai? How bedtime stories are read. Aloud. Huge craze. Figure painted by Michelangelo, which can be found hidden in the name Michelangelo. Or Michelangelo. I don't know which. I think neither are correct, but... angel, perhaps? All right. Home for doves or pigeons. A roost. That doesn't fit. All right, we'll hold off on that. This is the Kama Sutra? Okay. Well, Thai wouldn't have been short. See, I thought bulgogi was Korean, but how would we do Korean for short? Maybe it's Korean barbecue? Sauvignon wine variety. Blanc would make sense. Large drum played by hand. Okay, I'm skipping it. I do know it. I'm just not thinking of it. Pipe down, quiet. Chips, Chipmunk Pal. Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers. Huge craze, a mania, a bongo. There it is. I think the letters that I had confused me more. Like if I just had B-O, I might have actually thought of bongo. All right, home for doves or pigeons is a cote. I have not heard of that. What? I mean, if I look it up, it's probably going to say home, a shelter for mammals or birds, especially pigeons. Huh. Cote. All right. Well, how'd you do? Let's do strands. Today's theme is sneaking around. Why is there a dash there? They're trying to pun something, but I don't know what it would be. All right. Well, I guess we have to find words. Sneaking around. Kicks. Okay. Oh, are these words for shoes, like sneakers? Because kicks is a word for shoes. So maybe I can find shoes. Okay, we have shoe here. So what If we started on the bottom, it would be the L. Len, shoes, len. I'm not sure. What else can I find? I'm trying to get Spanagram first, since I figured out the category. The question is, do I know enough slang for shoes? There's like trainers is what they call it in. Is that in Britain or Australia or both? I wonder if shoe is just one of the words and not the spanagram. Pumps, maybe? Athletic. What's the J doing? Just. I mean, there's Air Jordans, but that doesn't work here. Okay, I'm just going to start locking in words because I don't know what's going on here. Kicks did not lock in. Is it just kick? No. Oh, am I just wrong then? How about shoe? Okay, so what's actually happening here? Kick, no. Maybe the is here. No, I really don't know what's happening. Tamp. Just. I might need a hint then. Hole. Oops. Kale with a C instead of a K. Scale. Sneaking around. I'm just going to grab a hint today. This is a bit of a slog. Heel. What's happening here? Oh, just for kicks. It was just all down here. I saw just and I saw kicks, but I didn't see that they connected. It's weird how that happens. Is heel a nickname for a whole shoe, or are we just talking about parts of a shoe? So like the tongue. Okay, we're parts of a shoe. Sorry, I am not seeing how to do tongue. Like we have all the letters for it, but oh, it's like this. Okay. I think it's because I don't know how to spell tongue properly. At least I briefly forgot. Lace, shoelace. That's why there's shoe. It's shoelace. I wish I could have seen these before getting a hint, but whatever. There's the sole of the shoe. What else? What's other parts of a shoe? So we got the shoelace, we got the heel, the sole, and the tongue. And the gopmav. Vam. I don't know if I know these. Pogo. Maybe I just need another hint. Yeet. Doesn't accept yeet. How about leet? Accepts leet. Eye. Oh, the eye. Maybe the something's with eye. Eyelet. Oops. How are we doing it? Like that. Okay. And this is one word. Oh, obviously it's pago. No? Oh, not even in the word list. Like, what's the V doing? Are we starting with V? Valampog. Golavmpo. Pogolavm. What the heck? How do we even do this? Like, I don't think we're gonna end in V. And so then I think we have to start with V because we can't do AVM or MVA, I think. Oh, logo. Hold on. Is logo involved here? Vamp. Oh no. Oh, wait, there were 2 words left. I thought there was 1 word left. I didn't even look. Shoot, no wonder I was struggling. Yikes. Okay. I don't know what vamp is, though. A shoe vamp. A mythical creature that sucks the blood out of shoes. No, I'm kidding. The vamp is the part of a shoe upper and defines the look of your shoe, how it is shaped, and how it sits on your feet. Anatomy of a shoe. So the vamp is like towards your toe, just like where the shoelaces are, and then you've got the vamp, and then you've got your toes, your upper and your toe. All right. Anyway. All right. Well, how'd you do? Hello. Today's bonus game is which year? So what we need to do is guess which year this photo was taken. So Dorking Fair. We've got a carousel. And one of those hit the hammer things. I don't know. I don't know how to date carousels and like these fair contraptions. Clothing and photo quality feels like early 1900s. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with 1920, but I could be a bit off here. 1905. I was a lot off. Okay. Barely had the correct century. Let's see. I bet if I recognize these people, that would help a lot, but I do not. That's an interesting outfit. I don't recognize the military uniform either. Shoot. This says reception, so it's in English. What building is this? Okay, I'm gonna go with 19, like during World War II, maybe like 1939. That was not during World War II. That was 1958. Okay. I'm doing horribly this time. Last time I did pretty well. It's interesting. We've got some blue tint on our photograph. I think that's probably just damage to the photo. It's very sepia. More military things. They are saluting someone who died, I suppose. I don't know where this is. Navy uniforms is what it looks like to me. I have no way to date this one. Maybe we'll go 1950 and just split the difference. Oh boy. 53, okay. Alrighty, this is like a time-lapse photo of... Is this a train station or an airport? Or what? Interesting. So this is like... Look at that, what that kid's wearing. That feels very 90s, early 90s. Clothing, we've got a backpack, another backpack. I can't read these. But it looks like German or Germanic language at least. All right, I'm going to go with 92. 2006. Oh, wow. Why does everything look so dated? 2006. Oh, that guy's on his cell phone. It's just hard to see because it's blurred. I was like, there aren't any cell phones. But 2006 would be like pre-smartphone, so people wouldn't just like be on their phones. That's true. I don't know. All right. I'm doing pretty poorly today. Let's see. School children on a typewriter with actual books. Are they bookbinding? That's pretty neat. Very hard to date this one, though, at least for me. This feels like 60s, maybe. I'm going to do 1960. Whoa, what's happening? 49, okay. Well, I am well below the average today. Um, Seems a lot of 1905s or 1910 guesses going on this one. I guessed way too early on this one. A lot of people were in the 50s, 60s. This round, I was pretty close, and there's a big wide swath between like the late 40s and early 70s, late 60s, I should say. Um, I guessed way too early on this one. A lot of people are in the 2000s. I wonder what gives that away. And then here, actually, 1960 was. Oh no, 1960 was a bad guess. Never mind. I was misreading this. Um, yeah, a lot of people went earlier, like 30s, 40s. Um, all right, cool. Well, this was a tough round. How'd you do? And let's spin our bonus wheel and see what we're gonna play tomorrow. All right, it is Squirtle, suggested by Pedals. So if you would like to play along, then tomorrow we're going to be playing Squirtle. Played that one yesterday, I believe. Link is in the description. And that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. There is a link at the end of the video if you would like to go to Wordle. There's also a pinned comment with all the games I played today. And if you enjoyed this, why don't leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.